What is up, fellas? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got something a little different for you. We're going to be doing a top 5 here on the channel, and within that we are looking at the top 5 guns in the Black Ops series. And man, oh man, where do I even start with this? Let's do a couple disclaimers first. First of all, this is an opinionated list. These are just my personal top 5 weapons. Obviously, I think there's going to be some disagreements, so feel free to let me know in the comments below. Secondly, I reserve the right to change this list at any time because it was extremely difficult to get it down to these top 5 weapons. And if I change my mind later down the road, I might have to do an update video, but until then, I think these are going to be my top 5 probably for a while. And third of all, the rules are we're doing primary weapons only, so we're not going to include any pistols or anything like that, even though some of these games had really good secondary weapons. We're just going to leave the pistols, launchers, and special weapons out of it because I don't think they should really be on the list. And finally, all weapons are going to be weapons that were available in the base game, so no DLC weapons, no supply drop weapons, just vanilla Black Ops series weapons is only what we're going to be looking at today. So without further ado, let's get into it. First on our list here at number 5 is the Scorpion Evo from Black Ops 2. If you used this gun back in the day, you probably remember that this was just an absolute monster of a submachine gun. Probably one of the best submachine guns we've ever seen in Call of Duty history. Not even within the Black Ops series, just ever. And wow guys, this gun just mowed people down up close. I mean, most people did not stand a chance. If you even half knew what you were doing with this gun, you were deadly. And even if you didn't, and you were just more of a spray and pray kind of guy, you were still easily able to get some nice feeds with this thing. So it was a pretty versatile gun. The lower skill players could use it and do well with it, but if you put this thing in the hands of a high skill player, they would just absolutely dominate you. And some of the best players that I've known in Call of Duty have used this gun religiously in Black Ops 2, and they swear by it, they still swear by it today. At number 4, we have the Commando from Black Ops. This thing was easily one of the most sought after weapons in Black Ops 1, and one of the most prized weapons and cherished weapons in the Black Ops series. And I mean, for good reason. Just look at it. Look at this thing. It's a beautiful weapon. It's one of the best looking weapons I think we've had in Call of Duty history. And what made it so special was that you unlock this thing at rank 44, so you could only use it for about 11 levels before prestiging. So most people, as soon as they hit that level, they would finish out their prestige with using just the Commando. And this thing was just an absolute monster with the suppressor on it. Felt great, had great damage, great range, and a good fire rate. Could be used for many different playstyles. You could rush with it, you could camp with it, you could do long range, short range. The possibilities were endless. And not only that, but this was one of the weapons that Sergeant Frank Woods is holding in the Black Ops art. And it just makes it a really iconic weapon to see it in that picture. But it's no secret that everybody loves the Commando. It's one of the most popular guns in Call of Duty. And we've only had it one single time in Black Ops 1. It has never made a return. And I thought it might come back in a Black Ops 3 supply drop one day, but that didn't happen, so we'll have to wait and see if we see it in Black Ops 4. Coming in here at number 3, the FAMAS from Black Ops. Now, I know this might be a little controversial of a placement for this weapon, but again, as I said before, this is an opinionated list, and for my own personal use and history with this weapon, I think number 3 is a perfectly suitable slot for this gun, and there's so much to say about it. First of all, it was one of the most overpowered weapons that we had seen in Call of Duty up to that point, when this game was the current game. And Treyarch nerfed it pretty hard early on in the game's life cycle, but it still always remained one of the most popular weapons. And for good reason, because even post-nerf, this gun was still amazing. The high rate of fire made it very deadly at close range, and if you wanted to take someone out from far away, you just had to do a couple of bursts with it, and it would get the job done. So you mix those dynamics in a game like Black Ops, and you have a very versatile weapon that you could use in most situations. And personally, I never felt the need to use any other attachment than a red dot on this thing. I tried it with the suppressor. I don't know why, it just never clicked with me. It's just always FAMAS red dot sight. But very powerful weapon, very annoying to get killed by because of the menacing sound that it made when you shot it. That sound was one of the most annoying in Call of Duty history, I think. A friend of mine once made the analogy that the sound of this gun shooting sounded like a ball bearing in a can of rusty nails being shaken around. I couldn't agree more. Alright, getting close to the end of our list here. Top 2. Coming in at number 2, the AK-47 from Black Ops. This version of the AK was without a doubt the best AK we've ever seen in any COD, whether it be within or out of the Black Ops franchise. This thing in BO1 was just an absolute beast. Personally, I used to run it with extended mag or dual mag, but there were tons of good options for attachments on this thing. The suppressor was also a really good one. I think the iron sights on this thing were some of the best we've ever seen in COD, so for that, there was definitely no reason to ever have to use a red dot sight. And you could just run attachments that would really help you get your kill streaks up. One of the best things and biggest selling points about this gun is that it had that nice vertical recoil pattern that was very predictable and very easy to control. And if you were good with it, you could use it at very long ranges and take out snipers. You could cross-map kids very easily with it. And I don't think we've seen this type of recoil pattern in any other gun since this one. Even later versions of the AK-47, like God forbid the Modern Warfare 3 one. That thing was so bad. But here in Black Ops 1, you already know the deal. One of the best guns in the game. And even though it was an assault rifle in this game, the high damage profile and high rate of fire made it a really, really useful weapon for close quarters combat. So you could take this thing and really play aggressively with it, almost like a submachine gun within an assault rifle. And that is why it so rightfully deserves the number 2 spot on my list. Alright guys, what's it gonna be? What is the number 1 gun? I'll give you a quick second to guess. Oh man, I'm afraid to even say this. The Brecci. The Brecci from Black Ops 3. Now if I know the Call of Duty community as well as I do, I know I'm gonna get some serious hate for this, but hear me out for a second, okay? Think about how much you hated getting killed by this gun. It was one of the most annoying things in BO3. All you have to do to turn those tables is equip it and use it, and boom, no more problem. You make it so now you are the person running around like a maniac having the time of your life, and all your opponents are the ones raging and quitting and getting pissed off. Since I did camo challenges in Black Ops 3 to unlock Dark Matter camo, I got a good taste of every single weapon in the game, and got a good feel for what was good and what wasn't. And as soon as I was done doing those camo challenges, I just knew, when it was time to go back to playing the game regularly how I want to play it, I knew that my go-to weapon was going to be the Brecci, without question. I've always kind of had a soft spot for shotguns in Call of Duty, mainly because I know that people hate getting killed by them so much. And that makes them so much more fun to use. And the reason people hate it is because people don't like getting one-shot killed. And they think it's BS. That's why nobody likes snipers and nobody likes shotgunners. So as a result of that, and also the fact that I just like to run and gun in COD, that's how I have fun playing it, I always tended to use the semi-auto shotguns. Like the Striker in MW3 and the Bulldog and Ghost, that was a real good one. But even those cannot compare to the absolute monster that the Brecci is in Black Ops 3. This weapon will take down anybody in its path. It's got a good fire rate, good range, and when you throw attachments on it like rapid fire, advanced rifling, extended mag, etc., it is just unstoppable. And for those reasons, that is why the Brecci has got to earn the number 1 spot on my top 5 weapons list from the Black Ops series. Whether it's pre-nerf or post-nerf, this thing is still king. And that's it, boys. Again, I just gotta tell you, it was very hard to order these guns, and I'm sure you noticed by now, there's no LMGs and no snipers, because I've never really been that kind of player. I bet some people were expecting to see the Ballista or the LSAT LMG on this list. And while those were good, reliable weapons, I just didn't think that they could compete with some of the other weapons that we have in the Black Ops series. We have so many iconic guns, and it was really difficult to narrow down. But there you have it, guys. My personal top 5 list of weapons in Black Ops series. And I do want to hear from you. What is your personal top 5 weapons list from these games? Let me know down in the comments. Guys, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And I will see you in the next one.